Hello and welcome to Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling. Your host, JP John Paz, with me today, very special guest. You may know him as one half of the Bolsheviks, excuse me, from the WWF, Mr. Boris Zhukov. Welcome. How you doing?
Doing great, John. How you doing, man?
Doing very good. What's going on in your world? Are you still doing anything wrestling-wise?
No, no, not at all in any way, shape, or form. No,
So
I retired from the trucking business in the March of last year.
anything like convention-wise for wrestling or anything as far as the
Yeah, yes, yeah. Next weekend I'll be up in New York for a few days next weekend. And then also in July, I'll be at the gathering down in Charlotte, North Carolina.
nice. That's awesome. What do you think about getting out there and doing that and still reconnecting with the fans after all these years.
Oh, that's the thing I enjoy the most is reconnecting with the fans because those are the ones that made us. Uh, if it hadn't been for them, we'd have never done anything. I mean, that's who paid our bills. So that's where our money came from was the fans. So yeah, it's always great getting to see and be around them and a lot of new young fans too and stuff because they catch on. I mean, there's so much of the old videos now you can get on YouTube and other video places and stuff, and they're watching wrestling from years ago, probably long before they were ever thought of or born. So that's pretty neat.
It is amazing to think about it 'cause it's like, wow, that was so long ago, but people can still watch on YouTube. That's still to me the best era, the golden era, if you will, of wrestling. So
Oh yeah,
I love
yeah.
going
I
back
was
and watching
watching.
them.
I was watching some the night before the interview. I mean, I've seen a lot of the old Mid Atlantic wrestling online when I got started back with them back in the early '80s. In fact, a lot of stuff too from the mid and late '70s. That you can put online in fact, a lot better wrestling than what we have now. The difference is night and day.
It is completely different. Do you keep up with current wrestling? Do you watch it at all or no?
No, no, I don't even turn it on. No,
Not a not a
I'll
fan.
turn on and watch some of these old videos that I hadn't matches that I hadn't seen before and stuff. From like I said, from the Carolinas and Texas and Georgia and uh, a lot of that stuff that's available is getting put online now. So I enjoy getting to see a lot of the old matches and a lot of the guys I got to work with. Back in those days.
It is crazy, just like the access. Can you believe that? Like thinking back then, like you'd have such easy access to all this wrestling and all this, old footage. I mean, it's nuts.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's unbelievable. In fact, I didn't even, a lot of this I didn't even know was still available anymore and stuff. I'm glad that it's still out there because I figured in a lot of ways, in a lot of different circumstances, a lot of it got lost. So yeah, because back in the older days, that they just taped over stuff. So
Yeah, isn't that crazy? What like thinking about it now, like, no, don't tape over it. Everybody will want to see it, years later,
right,
and they'd have easy
right.
access to it. Can watch it
Oh
whenever they
yeah.
want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in fact, yeah, some of the old interviews and stuff for the some of the shows I got to go see back in the day and stuff. See some of the old guys and stuff, and shoot, and they're just ad libbing. I mean, there's no scripts or nothing like that. They're just talking off the top of their head, and a lot more raw and a lot more original
Yeah.
than what you see today.
When you're talking to me, obviously, and we're talking old school wrestling, but I'm thinking like, what is going on? Where's the Russian accent? Where's your what I mean? Boris Zhukov. How come you're really not Russian? What's going on?
No. No, no, it was a gimmick. It was a Russian gimmick. There's the accent.
I love that though. That obviously it's the gimmick. Where does that come from? That Russian gimmick, like originally, where did it actually? Was it AWA where it originally, or where did that actually really start?
That originally started in Louisiana and Mid South for Bill Watts. Jake Roberts got me booked down there. Got me because I knew Bill. I had worked with Bill Watts in Atlanta, Georgia, when I was down there in 1979, 1980 and stuff. I met Bill Watts and stuff. So when the opportunity came up, and I finished up in the Carolinas for Jim Crockett Promotions, I got booked and went down there around May of 1983 for Watts down there in Mid South. So that's where it all started.
What is the inspiration behind the gimmick? Is it literally because they're looking for heels, and obviously the Cold War is going on, and Russia's the easy target as far as being a heel? Like, what was the thought process behind it all?
Oh, that yeah. That the big part of the Soviet Union and all that and stuff. And Ivan Koloff had always been a big hero to me, a big mentor and stuff and everything. And I just loved the gimmick and stuff. And then back in them days, all the TVs were local TVs and stuff. So I was able to leave the Carolinas to go down to Louisiana and start the Russian gimmick there and stuff, and be in a total different area on a total different TV network. So that had the opportunity to do that. So I took advantage of it and ran with it.
Is that something that you wanted to do, or is that the promoters are like were pushing it, like Watts is pushing,
Well,
they want a Russian?
yeah, that's something I wanted to do. So I got Jake got me in touch and talked with Bill Watts, and he thought it was a great idea, and invited me to come in and brought me in and stuff, and give me a break and got started with it and stuff, and then I was able to work down there for a while, and then I was able to go over and do some shows for the Von Erichs, Fritz Von Erich over in Texas, and got to go over there and work over there for a while. So yeah, whenever the opportunity came to go work for somebody doing that gimmick, I took every opportunity, and like I said, I took the ball and ran with it.
What did you think of Bill Watts? What was he like?
Well, he could be a little arrogant and stuff sometimes, but I mean, he was the boss man. He owned the territory and everything and stuff, But uh, uh, I thought he was a good man. I mean, he gave me a shot and stuff and everything. So, shoot, to me, I thought that was pretty good, But like I said, he could be a little obnoxious and arrogant sometimes, though.
What was he like as far as like a payoff guy? Was he good in that regard?
Yeah, yeah, I thought so and stuff. And I mean, it was a hard territory to work down there. A lot of long miles and stuff, you throughout the week and all that. But to me, I thought he was fair and stuff, So and he kept me running and kept me booked and kept me busy. So I was happy with that. And thankfully, I was able to stay healthy. That was the important thing.
Does he come up with the name Boris Zhukov, or do you come up with the actual name itself?
I came up with that name myself and stuff. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I did my own digging, all that. I always loved Boris Malenko. I thought the world of Boris Malenko is a great amateur wrestler and stuff, and had a great gimmick there in the Carolinas when he came and worked as a Russian, and then later on being a manager for Bill Eadie, Mass Superstar. So, and then I came up with the name Zhukov. I did some studying in the Russian history and stuff, and found the name Zhukov, and picked that out, and it stuck with me. So it worked good for me.
Interesting. Boris Zhukov. It's like
Yeah,
the genesis of it's interesting.
yeah,
Like Boris
yeah,
Malenko,
yeah.
you don't think about it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, there was a General Zhukov back in the day, you know. So yeah, so that's where that came from. Russian General Zhukov. Yeah.
A lot of heel heat, just as far as, obviously America
Yes.
versus Russia, especially. Hey, but right, that's easy heat, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially yeah, because when I was first going to Atlanta and stuff, back when the American U.S. hockey team finally beat the Russians and stuff, So there was a lot of heat back then, with the Soviet Union and all that and everything. So that was a great deal.
So you mentioned you went to World Class as well. What was it like with obviously Fritz, and what was it like with the Von Erichs?
Oh, Von Erich, yeah, that was good because I got to work. I got to wrestle with all the Von Erichs, David and Kevin Carey and all that. And I'm trying to think of was one of the younger ones, one of the youngest one and stuff. But yeah, I ended up working with four of them. And the first time I went over there, I went over and worked with Bruiser Brody, and had a rough, tough, good match with him and stuff over there. And Fritz liked the way I looked and worked and stuff and everything. So had a good snug match with Brody and stuff, and uh, Brody liked it and stuff and everything, and he gave me a hand getting in there too. So I owe a big thanks to Bruiser Brody for that.
Was he a little stiff with you? You're saying little
Oh yeah,
snug.
yeah, yeah. He was stiff and snug, but I was the same. I liked it. That's why I liked it anyway. I liked that when I was growing up, watching wrestling and stuff and everything. I know it was always be snug and stiff, and the more believable you were, I think the more the fans loved and appreciated it.
Yeah, I feel like some guys maybe don't like that style, or maybe Brody kind of got the. I don't know. I guess you could say maybe some of they people would say some bad things like, "Oh, he was too stiff with some guys, or he hurt some guys, or he kind of took advantage of some people." But
Yeah.
I guess
Well, yeah, yeah, but I mean, that's what people were paying to see. People were paying to see that. It's like I used to love watching matches with. In fact, I love pulling up on the video watching Johnny Valentine and Wahoo McDaniel. And I got to see those as a kid, and Greg too, and Flair and Wahoo and stuff and everything. And when I got to work with Wahoo, me and him was snug. I mean, he chopped the daylights out of me, and I enjoyed that. But that was what the people loved back in those days and stuff. And man, if you couldn't take it, you really had no business in there. Because
man,
nobody's knocking your head off and stuff. But I mean, but you wanted to make it good, look good and snug and believable. And that's people worked hard for their money to come see and stuff. And you want them to come back and see you next time. So you need to give them a good show, so you can get that return business. That to me, that's what it was all about.
I love that too as a fan watching some of that stuff because it's like, oh, they're really lighting each other up. Like, oh, this is
Oh yeah.
real. Like it's getting
Oh,
real
oh,
out
oh,
there. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Goodness, Wahoo could light you up. I tell you, big time.
Yeah, those chop fests are like
Yeah,
they're crazy sometimes.
yeah,
Oof.
yeah, yeah. He knocked the wind out of me a few times. But I got my licks in too, and I got him in on Brody, and Brody liked it too. Brody wanted you to be snug. He was snug and believable, and if anybody he worked with, he wanted them to be the same way with him. So Frank appreciated that.
With Brody, and obviously he would, obviously pass away in Puerto Rico. It's crazy. Were you friends with him like after that, or
Well,
you guys went your separate ways and didn't really hear from him?
yeah, yeah, because I'd see him in different territories. In fact, I'd met him in Charlotte. He came up and worked Charlotte a few times when I was in that territory, and I'd met him in Atlanta, and then saw him again when he came to work for Vern Gagne up in the AWA and stuff and everything. and Frank knew me, and I didn't live far from the airport, so Frank would stay out there by the airport. So I would go by and pick up Frank and take him to the show and stuff. We'd go out to eat and all that and stuff, you know. So that was something that was always pretty cool. And then the time I got to go down there and work Puerto Rico and stuff when I was with the AWA, Frank was down there, and we had a good time going out to eat down there too. So.
When do you head to the AWA? Just is it right after World Class, or do you do a couple other territories first and then head over to the AWA?
Yeah, I did world class, and then I went for almost a year after that down in southeastern, down in the Alabama, Pensacola, Mobile area and stuff, Dothan, Alabama, for the Fullers and the Armstrongs. I was there for a long time. Then I went back up and I was working some in Georgia and Memphis for Lawler and all that, and then I got a chance to go up to the AWA after that for Vern Gagne.
Man, I realize you worked all those territories. You pretty much worked everywhere. How
Yeah,
crazy is that?
yeah. I got to work some down in Florida too. You know, in Tampa, I got to go down there for a few months, and I had a run down there and stuff and everything. So yeah, that was that was pretty cool. So yeah, enjoyed that absolutely.
How do you go from territory to territory? Like, because I could just imagine it's like, okay, you had your run there, but do you call the promoter? Does the promoter say, "Hey, we're gonna, send you here"? Like, how does that happen? Because you literally, if you look at it, you probably worked almost every territory.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of times you meet guys from other territories or a promoter or somebody that was booking or say, hey, they're looking for somebody. You know, if you need a place to go, give this guy a call or whatever and stuff, and get you booked and stuff. And Sergeant Slaughter got me booked up in the AWA for Vern, so that's what helped me out there and stuff and everything. So, and then. Uh, I went on up there and got some good years up there at the AWA.
With AWA, you're doing obviously the hardcore Russian gimmick and stuff. Did you actually feud with Slaughter when you were in the AWA?
Yeah, yeah. In fact, that's who I first worked with when I went in there. Was got a good had an anger with Sarge and stuff. You know, he'd worked a deal with Larry Zabisco, and then I came in and worked with Sarge also. So yeah,
That's kind of a little bit of a blast from the past because when you were with JCP and you were with Mid Atlantic, you were right.
right,
You're Private Jim Nelson and you and
right.
Carnudo tag champs, but you're basically under the tutelage of Slaughter. So it's kind of coming full circle a little bit with Sarge.
Yeah. It sure did. Yeah, Kane, and so we got to work single matches, and I think we had a few different tags and all that and everything. So yeah, that worked out great. Yeah.
Man, talk about instant heat with Russia. That you got Slaughter doing the USA stuff. I mean, that's going to be easy heat. Easy
Oh
night
yeah,
for you.
yeah. With the GI Joe and all that and stuff,
Yep.
you know, that was easy. You know, like taking candy from a baby, they'd say. You know. So yeah.
That's why it's great to do that gimmick, right? I mean, it's great to
Oh
be
yeah.
Boris Zhukov.
Oh yeah. USA, and all that stuff, you know. So yeah, that was pretty neat. So absolutely.
Did you ever fear for your life though? Like, did it ever get too crazy from being the Russian? Like, did people really want to destroy you?
Yeah, because back in them days, it was the heat was a lot different and stuff. You know, I mean, we was definitely hated and stuff. You know, because uh, a big feud between the United States and the Soviet Union and all that and stuff. So there was a lot of heat and all that. So yeah, you always had to watch where you go, and sometimes you couldn't go out to certain places and stuff. You know, you had to watch when you went somewhere to eat and stuff. And a lot of times it was better when the show was over. For me, with a gimmick like that, and Nikolai and I did the same thing. We just went on back to the motel room. You know, it was hard to go out and associate with fans and stuff. The heat was just too much back then.
Is that scary for you at all? Because it's like, okay, I'm playing a character, but now these people are
Yeah,
taking this a little too seriously.
yeah, Yeah, you had to watch your back and stuff, but they had police around and security and all that and stuff. But yeah, you wanted to keep your head turning like a on a swivel, So because you never know when somebody might come up from behind and stuff. So you know uh, you had to be really careful because that's a total different day than now. I mean, a lot of the guys now they'd never seen heat like that. So.
Definitely not. Oof, man, like you're literally fearing for your life in an aspect, right?
Yeah, 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 because they throw stuff, and you just had to watch all the time and stuff. So yeah, you never know what somebody might do something stupid or uh, 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 come after you trying to get into your vehicle, whatever, or trying to damage it or something. So yeah.
Do you ever regret, like, or at that point, did you ever regret, like, man, maybe I shouldn't be the Russian gimmick? Yeah, it's great for heat, but now I got to watch myself in real life. I got to watch my back.
Yeah. No, 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 not too bad stuff. A lot of times we try to get out of the buildings and get away from the arenas before the shows were over. So that was always a big help too.
So AWA, you feuded with Slaughter. Who else did you feud with? AWA? Would you feud with Rick Martel and Kurt Hennig as well?
Yeah, yeah. Rick Martel had a run with him. Rick Martel, Nick Bockwinkel, and then had tag matches with Kurt Hennig and Scott Hall, and also Kurt Hennig and Greg Gagne. So yeah, had some good feuds with them guys also. Yeah, yeah. That was a fun time there. A lot of different baby faces, different styles and stuff and everything. So, in fact, also Kurt's dad, Larry Henning, got to work with him and Crusher Blackwell, and a lot of fantastic matches with him too.
What did you think about Vern? Did you like working for Vern Gagne?
Yeah, yeah, Vern was fine. Yeah, yeah, he was old school and stuff, and tough and stuff and everything. But that was something I appreciated. So yeah, and he was definitely a legend in the wrestling business. So yeah, I enjoyed working for him, and also Brad Rangans. Brad Rangans was a great, he was a Olympic wrestler. He didn't get to go wrestle in the Olympics when he qualified stuff because we boycotted the year he would have gone and stuff. But he was a great amateur wrestler, and I enjoyed wrestling him too a whole lot.
So when do you get noticed by WWF? When do you like kind of go get on their radar as far as going to the big times of New York?
Uh, well, Jack Lanza, who had been with the AWA when I was there, was a agent and booker there and all that stuff, and then he moved on to WWF, and then when a situation happened they was going to have to let the Sheik go, because of the situation that happened between him and uh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan and stuff and everything, and they wanted a tag team partner for Nikolai. They said they was looking for a Russian tag team partner. So Jack notified me about an opportunity to go. So I took advantage of it and went ahead and went. So and I got encouragement from Sherry Martell too. Sherry got in touch with me and said that they was looking for somebody to come for Nikolai, and that and they'd mentioned me. So yeah,
Nice. So all really kind of because Cheeky Baby had his issue with Duggan and the New Jersey Turnpike and all
right.
that controversy.
Yeah, that controversy and stuff, and they was having to let him go, and they decided they wanted another tag team partner for Nikolai, and decided on a Russian tag team, and I was fortunate enough to get the draw, no, to come in, the opportunity. So I took advantage of that and went because an opportunity like that, you don't know if it'll ever come again. So I took advantage of that.
Were you surprised at all? Like, hey, everyone's kind of not everyone's talking about me, but everybody's kind of giving you the thumbs up. Like, hey, bring in Boris, bring in
Yeah,
Boris.
yeah, yeah. I was really shocked about it, but yeah, but yeah, Jack said they'd been watching me and watching videos and stuff, and liked what they saw, and wanted to give me an opportunity. And thank you very much. And I didn't think twice about doing it. I went ahead and took advantage of it and went in when I had a chance to.
It's funny that the Bolsheviks, right? I mean,
Right,
Nikolai
the
Volkoff,
Bolsheviks.
the Bolsheviks.
The
Such
Bolsheviks,
a
yeah.
such an interesting name. I mean, obviously that's out there because of the Russians and the Cold War. You
Right.
heard Bolsheviks, but other than that, it's like I never even heard that before, that term, except for wrestling. The
Yeah.
Bolsheviks.
Yeah, the Bolshevik. Well, they had the Bolshevik Revolution, so that's where they got that from. So, yeah, that worked out. That worked out great.
So when you first get there, who like who basically like kind of is talking to you about the character, and who tells you you're going to be teaming up with Volkov, and who tells you you're going to be a part of the Bolsheviks? Is that Vince, or is that somebody else, or is that one of the bookers?
That was Vince and Pat Patterson, who was the booker there and stuff and everything. So, yeah, yeah, they all talked to me about that stuff, told me what they wanted us to do, and put Nikolai and I together and everything, and wanted me to learn the Soviet national anthem, which I did with Nikolai. He worked with me on that as we traveled on the road and all that. So, yeah, put all that together, and man, it worked out great.
Now,
Yeah.
when you meet with Vince, right? Because I always hear stories of certain guys kind of pretending to really be their gimmick, if you will. Like they won't even break kayfabe for Vince because they really want him to buy in and believe the character. Did you do that, or were you just yourself and like, okay, Vince, this is just kind of who
Uh,
I play? Because some guys really go crazy, like Scott Hall, if you will, Razor Ramon. He's like really kind of doing a gimmick for Vince.
right, right. Yeah, but yeah, because Vince had come and talked to me at the TV and all that and everything. So yeah, I was just my normal self, because just business. I mean, Nicholas said just be yourself and be business about him, around him, and he says you'll do fine, and so that worked out good.
What did you think about Vince? Like, it was crazy nuts, or crazy genius, or what did you think about Vince?
Uh, well, at the time, I mean, he had some super great ideas, and wrestling had taken off under his tutelage. I mean, the proof was in the pudding and stuff. What he'd done, the territory, the tag teams that he had. I mean, where Hulk Hogan had risen to in the WWF and everything, and a lot of the other baby faces and all that, and the heels and stuff. So, I mean, the package they put together, with the WrestleManias and all that and stuff. So, yeah, it was definitely a genius because everything was selling out. I mean, the TVs are always packed, and so were the arenas. So, he definitely did it right for sure.
What do you think of him now and all the controversy and everything going on and him selling the company? What do you think about Vince now?
Uh I don't know. He's got issues like a lot of us run into in life. Bad things can happen for different reasons and all that and stuff. But he's definitely got issues and stuff that he needs to address, and I'm hoping that he if he needs help, he'll reach out to help to those that could help him, and he can change and turn things around and stuff. But I mean, the wrestling today is so different, even from what the WWF was back then. I mean, it's like night and day.
Big time. Were you close with him at all, like on the road or whatever? It's just all business with you, or did you never see anything like of what we're hearing of some of these rumors and stuff?
No, I never saw nothing like that. I mean, the only time I ever saw Vince, sometimes we either at the TV, or sometimes we go to the towns and stuff where TV was at, or he'd be at, and he'd come to the gym and work out, and we'd see him in the gym some, and that was pretty much it. So
No personal relationship then.
no, none at all. It was strictly business all the time, and once in a while we might see in the place where we'd eat at the TVs. He'd come in and say hello to the guys and stuff. But that was pretty much it. It was always in a business type place, or as far as the arenas go, or in the gym.
So, what did you think about Nikolai? Obviously, you know that you're coming in and team with him. He's got an idea, but what did you think about Nikolai? How did you guys get along?
Oh yeah, I love Nikolai. There, I met Nikolai when I first got started in the business, anyway, in '80. And when I was working the Atlanta territory, Dusty come in and got me booked in some shows down in Florida, and I went down there and did Florida TV. And in fact, one of the first Florida TVs I went down and did back in was it I guess '79. It might have been '80. Down when I was in Atlanta, in Georgia, I got to work with Nikolai down there in Tampa, Florida, on TV down there. So I met Nikolai way back then, and then when he came up to the Carolinas, when I was working up there for Jim Crockett Promotions, he came in and teamed up with Chris Markoff from the AWA, and him and Nikolai Russian tag team. Lord Alfred Hayes was their manager. So me and Nikolai saw each other again, and I got to go on road trips with him and all that. So I saw Nikolai on and off throughout my career before we got together in WWF. So that was pretty cool.
When you first get there, obviously you're going to be the Bolsheviks, and you and Nikolai on a bit of a winning streak. I mean, it was one of those things where. Did they tell you you're going to be getting a push when you first come in? Like, because you guys are you're pretty dominant, and you're pretty dominant when you first get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, because he wasn't established anyway, and especially him and Sheik and stuff. They had so much heat as a tag team up there. I mean, it was just that was just the easiest role in the world I could have stepped into and stuff. With all the heat that him and Sheik and Nikolai had and everything. So that made that real easy. And like I said, with the Russian thing, all making heat stuff, I mean, they automatically hated us both together anyway. So that was a catwalk.
And it was always funny if you did the Russian national anthem.
Oh
My
yeah,
God, it
yeah.
was
Oh
hated
yeah, that was
beyond
brutal.
belief.
Yeah, brutal. Yeah, and we'd both go out with flags and stuff and everything, and oh yeah, it was brutal.
But it's one of those things too. It's like, wow, this is easy. Like, you know what I mean? They just hate the Russians so much. Even if we say, oh, we're going to do the national anthem, you just get booed out of the building. I mean, it's
Oh, you
crazy.
just get booed out of the building. Yeah, absolutely. And then same thing up in Canada. It was the same thing in Canada and stuff. Yeah. So Canada booed us out of there too. So.
What did you think about Slick? Because I mean, it's kind of like a weird
Oh,
pairing that to have
loved.
Slick with you. But what did you think about Slick?
Boy, I love Slick. Well, he'd been with Nikolai and Sheik, So, but yeah, I just loved his personality. Just a great guy and stuff, and great on interviews and stuff. And I mean, the way he carried himself around the ring and stuff, and trying to stay away from the baby faces and trying to get away from Matilda so she wouldn't eat him up. So yeah, he was great. A lot of fun with the Slickster. Yeah.
It's like an odd pairing, but it
Yeah.
somehow works, right? It's weird.
Yeah, it definitely worked. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Speaking about Matilda, what did you think about working the Bulldogs? Did you like the Bulldogs?
Oh yeah, I love Davy Boy and Dynamite Kid stuff, and yeah. Matilda was fun to work with, but you had to get away from her because she could catch you, she'd eat you up. So you didn't want her to do that. So yeah. Poor Slick, one time, if I fell out of the ring, I broke his arm trying to get away from her one time. So, because she was right on him. I mean, and if she got up by you, she'd take some skin out of you. So,
Whoa, not good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah, yeah. She was serious about what she was doing.
love that though.
Oh
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
If
She
you look,
it was real to her. It was real to her for sure.
yeah, yes, nobody told her about kayfabe. That
No, no, none, not at all. No, it wasn't. It was not a work to her. So
the crazy thing about WWF at that point, like obviously this is the golden age. You guys are all mainstream. It's so popular. But I always think about the tag team division. Your tag team division was so stacked. I mean, like
oh yeah,
every team was great.
yeah, absolutely, and so talented. I mean, baby faces and heels. I mean, they were some of the best tag teams ever. Goodness gracious, it was tremendous. Yeah, it's yeah, it was that was an honor and a pleasure to have been a part of that. Yeah, yeah, it really
Man, just
was.
like you look at it, it's like the Killer Bees, the Bulldogs, the
Those
Heart,
Hearts,
Strike Force, right?
Strike
The
Force. Yeah, yeah, the Rougeos. I mean, are, absolutely incredible. All the talent they had. Yeah, man, unbelievable.
the Powers of Pain, the Young
Oh yeah,
Stallions. I mean, it just
yeah.
goes
Oh
on and
yeah,
on. It's
on and
crazy.
on. And yeah, then the Road Warriors, came
Yep.
in and
Yep.
stuff. I mean, it just went on and on. Yeah, yeah.
It just like was just blowing up. After just quite frankly, maybe just blowing up. They had Saturday night's main event. They had all
Oh
these
yeah,
pay-per-views starting. The Royal Rumble was starting up. The Survivor
right.
Series. It was just man, what a time to be alive. What a time to be in the business, right? I mean, you're probably making money hand over fist.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of big shows, and I got to see a lot of those pay-per-views get born. Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam. So I got to watch all of them get started. So that was pretty cool.
What do you think what made that era like so special? Because it's like obviously we're saying the golden era. It was and I think it's the best. But it's like everybody became mainstream. So many people became a part of the fabric of the culture. Why do you think that is?
Uh, it's just tremendous talent, but I mean, just the TV. I mean, the production that Vince had, that it was just incredible. I mean, there was nothing else like it on TV, and the drama of all that. I think it was just a combination of things that made it very special.
Felt like everybody that was like alive knew every wrestler almost. It was like everybody's mainstream. Like everybody knows Nikolai Volkoff and the Iron Sheik.
Right.
No, not
Oh
just
yeah.
Hogan. It's like
Right.
everybody knew everybody.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and I mean, just on and on and on. Magnificent Morocco and stuff. I mean, it was just goodness gracious. Paul Orndorff. I mean, incredible.
So many top talents too.
Oh
Obviously
yeah.
Macho Man and Piper and Andre. I mean, it
Right.
just was like so many great
So many.
talents
Yeah.
all up and down the roster.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And they just became household names because of the power of that TV and stuff. I mean, Vince just took wrestling to a whole new level with that production he put together, without a doubt.
And you're part of the first Royal Rumble. You're a part of WrestleMania. I mean, you are part of a lot of big shows, that were going on at the time during that
Right.
era. I mean, it's pretty special to be a part of them.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah.
Did you did you make a ton of money? I mean, we're saying you did. We're guessing you did, but did you make a ton of money in the WWF?
Yeah. Yeah. I did very well for myself. I sure did. Yeah. Yeah.
Best paydays you ever had?
Yeah, yeah. Some of the biggest paydays that I ever had compared to when I first got started. So yeah, I had some good years there.
Like through the years in WWF, obviously there's good and then there's some bad too, because there's some controversies. Were you aware of any of this stuff that was going on at the time, like like the referee scandal with Rita, or the Ring Boy scandal? Like, is any of that even on a lot of the guys' radars, or are you guys working too much to kind of know what's going on with some of the stuff?
Well, we were just working so much back then and stuff and everything. I mean, my concern was trying to stay in shape and stay healthy and be able to work the next week. So be able to make the next shows and stuff and keep it healthy and keep in shape so I could keep going because it was a pace. Yeah, I mean, you know, all the bumps and all the travel and all that stuff. So.
Were you a big party guy? Did you go out a lot and drink and stuff?
No, I wasn't into that. I didn't believe in that. And Nikolai wasn't like that. I mean, he was in staying in shape and eating good and stuff and everything, and wanting to be at the airport on time so we could make the flights and make the town the next day because it was a pace. And it wasn't something that we could comfortably do even if we wanted to. I mean, even going out to eat at restaurants and stuff got hard at times. A lot of times we'd get Nikolai carry a hot plate and we'd fix something to eat in the room so we didn't have to be harassed by people. So,
Smart. That's actually a
yeah.
good idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did a lot of that. Sure did.
This is pretty interesting to me anyway. I love this kind of stuff. So after WrestleMania 4, you wrestle Hulk Hogan on Superstars. Now, Hulk didn't really do a lot of TV appearances. He definitely didn't do a lot of matches. He was usually like, maybe Saturday Night's Main Event or obviously all of them, but like to pump up or promote pay-per-views. He's on the pay-per-views. He's going to main event. He hardly ever did Superstars. It's like I think Dino Bravo and Orton are like his only matches on Superstars. So what was that like? I mean, you're getting a huge opportunity right after WrestleMania 4. He's not the
Right.
champ anymore, but he's the leader of the company. He's a player. He's the best guy. What was it like to wrestle Hogan on Superstars?
Oh, that was incredible because I mean, he was just uh, to me there was nothing. There was nobody else like him. I mean, uh, when he came out to the ring, when he came out the room and they announced him, the building was vibrating. I mean, it shook. I mean, that's how over he was. And yeah, it was just incredible. I mean, and the people get behind him and stuff, especially with the hating the Russian thing, hating Russia so bad and stuff. That was a piece of cake, getting in the ring with Hulk. So, but yeah, I mean, the floor shook. It got so loud, and it was the people were behind him so much. I mean, it was incredible feeling. Great honor and opportunity to been in the ring with him during that time in his career.
How did that all come about? Like, how come? Like, why is he wrestling at Superstars? How did you get the match? Like, how did that all come about?
Uh, I'm not sure where originally we did that. We did that match. That match was on a Saturday night main event too. That match, and I think they just put it in on Superstars too. I believe, from what I remember.
Oh, interesting. So basically, they just wanted the hated Russian versus the real American Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the real American Hulk Hogan. Yeah, and of course Nikolai was involved and Slick and all that stuff and everything. So it was a good deal. So
And that was for basically what would end up being a Superstars taping. I mean, that's a pretty big house. That was a pretty big arena.
yeah, 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 up in New Haven, Connecticut. So yeah,
Yes. Yeah, it's just interesting, like the way that all works out, because it's like, wow, superstars, and you turn it on, it's like Hogan's on superstars. What is going on here? This is a rarity. It's not Saturday Night's Main Event or a pay per view or a big show.
right,
It's like or MSG. Like, what is going on here? Pretty
right.
cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Just I don't know, one of those kind of like trivia questions. Like Hogan only had a few matches on Superstars, and
right.
you're one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, the building just shook. It was incredible. I mean, he was. I don't think I was ever in the ring with somebody but he had so much charisma, and the people just loved him and stuff. I mean, he was over like $1 million, and there probably won't be another one like him ever.
No, no, definitely not. What did you think about him personally? Like, were you friendly with him?
Oh yeah, Yeah, great guy, great personality and stuff and everything. So yeah, very nice guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What
definitely.
did what did you think, like, as you're kind of going through and obviously, you end up feuding with Powers of Pain and a bunch of other tag teams. Like, what did you think? Did you want more? Did you want to be a singles guy? Did you want to push, or like what were you thinking during your time in WWF?
Well, whatever they wanted to do and stuff, I mean, I was just to me, the business was business. Whatever I could do, whatever I could be a part of, be business of. My main concern was staying healthy because, man, it was like I said, it was a heck of a pace, that territory. The way we had to travel and
Too much, you think?
yeah.
Too much travel?
So at times I think and stuff, but trying to work out every day and stay in shape and because I already knew back then. I mean, I had enough common sense when I first got started. This ain't something you can do forever. It's not going to last forever. I mean, anybody that thinks it does is living in a false reality because you can make one wrong move and it's over.
When you
It's
look at
all
it,
it's all over.
when you look at it too, it's like it's so popular. Like, how long could they last? Being so
Right.
popular, when's the balloon gonna burst, or when's it gonna
Yeah,
break?
yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. And then your body being able to take that kind of
Yep.
punishment and stuff and everything. And then I started getting some injuries and started having trouble with my back and stuff. And then uh, I developed a bad hernia, and that slowed me down big time.
Did you ever have any promises? Like, did they always hear from other wrestlers like, "Oh, I was promised the title"? Were you guys ever promised maybe winning the tag team titles?
Uh, no, not really. And to me, it won a big deal. Nikolai and I had so much heat and stuff and everything and stuff. It wouldn't have made a lot of difference. People wanted to see us demolished anyway. So the thing to me, the titles to me, in that type of situation was just more of a prop, just something to carry around. Because with the thing with the Soviet Union was just a total different thing. I mean, the Soviet Union was so despised and so hated and stuff. I mean, really, Nikolai, it would have gave us any more heat if we'd had the belts anyway. Really.
Yeah, it's one of those things you guys didn't really need it. You guys had so much heat. You didn't really
Oh yeah.
need something like that.
Right. Yeah. And then him and Sheik had gotten so established there, and they'd already had that heat was already there, and I was able to go in and tag up with Nikolai and keep it going and stuff. But the Soviet Union was so hated by the United States and stuff. The bickering back and forth and all that. In fact, we even got to go to work in the arena up there in. I was trying to remember the hockey arena where the United States won the gold medal at up in Canada in the Olympics. We got to work in that exact arena, so that was pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Speaking of
and
Canada,
and
WrestleMania.
we got booed out of the place too.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of Canada, WrestleMania 6 in Toronto at the Skydome. That's a really, really quick match. You do that great thing in the
right.
back with Steve Allen,
Oh
with the
yeah.
piano and stuff. Why such a short, quick match? Is it time constraints, or how come the Bolsheviks have to go through the Hulk
Time
so quick?
restraints because all that time was paid for, and they needed all. Vince wanted all the time for the Hogan and Warrior at the end, and uh, as the we'd had something originally set to go longer, but with the way the show was progressing and the time and stuff, they only had a certain amount of time, and when the time winds down, it ends. So he needed the extra time for Hogan and Warrior for their finish and stuff and everything. And besides that, Nikolai and I was going to be turning on Nikolai anyway, so that kind of just played right into it, you know. I have the quick thing. We get jumped from behind. I get mad and blame Nikolai, and then jump him, and so that all worked out good. So
Yeah, interesting with like basically Nikolai babyface turn. Isn't that crazy
right.
to think? You know, he's going to
Oh
be a
yeah.
babyface, Nikolai.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Nikolai turning babyface and stuff. So that played right into it because I blamed Nikolai. We lost because he allowed us to get jumped and stuff, and I blamed him. And so that worked out good. And plus, I didn't mind doing that for. I love Jim and Brett anyway, and they was going to get the titles, big push there and stuff. So that was good for them too. So yeah. So
What did you think about the feud with Nikolai? Because you guys had a ton of matches together.
yeah, I enjoyed that really good. I was really hoping that they would have done more. With maybe I could have gotten another tag team partner, and maybe they put him with Jim Duggan. I thought him and Jim Duggan would have been a great tag team to go around. In fact, I thought it'd been great if they'd have put the belts on Nikolai and Hacksaw, so the tag belts. I thought that would have been a good because they really were good to go. I mean, totally different as far as their gimmicks go, but with Nikolai turning babyface like that and stuff, and then with Hacksaw, they'd have been a great combination.
Do you think that you and Nikolai should have gotten just like a more of a bigger blow off to the feud when you guys had it? Because I know I think it was SummerSlam Fever, it's kind of like the blow off, but what was like you're thinking? Should you guys gotten a bigger match or bigger opportunity to blow off the feud?
Yeah, I thought that would have been good and stuff and everything, to have pushed Nikolai, help Nikolai more and more, as a baby face and all that. Yeah, I
Now,
thought that would have been a great idea as far as I was concerned. That's why I was hoping that'd been great if I could have had another tag team partner and then put him with Hacksaw Duggan and then done a blow off for them guys.
definitely, that's definitely a good idea.
Because
I know you
I love Duggan too. He was so he had a lot of charisma and he could really get the crowd up and stuff. And he was fun to be with out there in the ring. And I think him and Nikolai have been a great tag team.
definitely. I know you and Smash did a bunch of house show matches together. Were you and Smash ever supposed to be? I know it's like you're taking a demolition and a Bolshevik putting together. Was that ever supposed to be a team, or was that? And obviously, he used to play Crusher Khrushchev, so like that kind of an interesting Russian kind of thing going on. But
Yeah.
was that ever supposed to be anything, or no?
No. It just came about that way. So yeah.
You guys wrestled a bunch against the Rockers on some house shows, but it was never going to be anything on TV.
Right. No.
Would have been kind of interesting if you went back to Crusher Khrushchev and you guys did a Russian thing together. That would
Oh
have been
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. But no, he was already established as demolition, So yeah.
So you leave WWF in '91. Why do you leave?
Well, I was finishing up, and decided to leave, and uh, went into independence and stuff. But like I said, I had a lot of injuries going on too and stuff. So and that worked out good for me to go ahead and leave and stuff because it was really wearing on me.
So basically, you're kind of winding it down and wanting to really retire,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, basically, yeah, and that's what I ended up pretty much doing and stuff. I went and did a lot of independence and stuff like that and everything. But yeah, uh, I was hurting and stuff, and I said, and I knew I couldn't keep up the pace like I had been and stuff, and it was time to find something else to do. And I decided to get into the trucking business.
Can't believe that Boris Zhukov, the crazy Russian, is actually from West Virginia. You know what I mean? He's from right. I
Oh,
think you're from
Virginia,
West Virginia. You're
from
from
Virginia.
Virginia. You're
Yeah,
from Virginia.
Roanoke, Virginia, the same town Tony Atlas is from.
Crazy. You would think it's somewhere in like Moscow or something. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
It
Oh
blows
yeah,
my mind when you think about it.
yeah, yeah. Roanoke, Russia.
So as we
Yeah,
head
because
towards the finish,
back in the day and stuff, when Ivan came into the Carolinas and stuff in the '70s and stuff, I'd go to see him every Saturday night in Starland Arena in Roanoke, Virginia. So
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes, love
yeah.
that. So
Oh yeah.
as we head towards the finish, we head towards the wind down here. Who are some of the your favorite guys to wrestle? Because obviously we were talking about a bunch of them, but just
Oh,
in your mind, who are some of your favorites?
man, there's so many. Goodness. Well, like I said, home territory being in Carolinas, shoot, because I got to work. I got to work with Ole and Gene Anderson and Paul Jones, Wahoo McDaniel, Ricky Steamboat was one of my favorite baby faces. Now Brad Armstrong too. I love working with Brad Armstrong and down in the southeastern area and stuff and everything. So yeah, Jimmy Snuka, uh, a lot of great baby face. Rick Martel, absolutely.
It's like kind of remarkable just to see. Obviously, I think most people know you, Boris Zhukov, WWF, just because everybody knows that era of WWF, and like everybody's famous and like the mainstream, and nobody forgets that era and those guys. But it's crazy without really even knowing, and just kind of going through your career, you literally might have worked almost every territory, which is remarkable.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I got to work some in Tennessee. I went in there early on when Fuller and Armstrong was up in Knoxville. So I got to work there, and like I said, did some work in Puerto Rico and all that. So yeah, I made all the big major territories. So yeah, to me, I'm real proud I was able to do all that.
Where was your favorite place to work?
The favorite place would work was where I grew up at, the Carolinas, because a lot of them guys, almost all of them guys, I got to watch growing up as a kid, and then I got to go work with them in the ring there in the same territory that I watched them in growing up. Johnny Weaver and Paul Jones and Wahoo McDaniel and Tiger Conway. So many more, Ricky Steamboat, Jay Youngblood, so Don Knodel. So that was my favorite territory because that was home.